All right, this video is how to draw a unicorn. Let me get my cheat sheet. Okay, so in order to draw a unicorn, we're basically just going to draw a horse. We are going to start with 3 circles for the shape of the body. Basically, whenever I'm drawing a human or an animal, I simplify the entire thing down into simple shapes, mostly like circles. Okay, so the unicorn's body is going to be like this. The middle of the body is going to be a little bit wider of a circle. And then we're going to have the hips and the chest. The next thing we're going to do is draw the legs. The legs should be about this measurement. Not quite as long as the body, but almost. Like if you were to shave off a little on this side and a little on that side, that would be the measurement of your leg. The leg also overlaps the body a little bit. You will see sort of the shoulder come in front of the body here. So I'm going to start from there. And if I'm just kind of guessing as to that length, I'm going to think that my leg is going to end about here. So I'm just going to do a straight line down for now. Then we're going to do a knee a little bit higher than halfway. At the bottom, we're going to do the hoof. The hoof, instead of sitting directly under the leg, kind of moves forward. So I'm going to draw a half circle for the hoof right here. Make sure the bottom of your hoof, instead of being perfectly straight, has a little bit of a curve to it. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the muscles over the legs because horses are very muscular. So I'm going to draw a nice big oval over here, making sure to overlap the body and overlap the knee. I'm going to do another oval here that overlaps the knee and overlaps the hoof. At the back here, I'm going to add a little bit of a half circle. I'm not sure what that is, but there's a bump on the back of the horse's leg. Okay, the other front leg. This one's going to be on the opposite side of the body. So we're going to see a little bit less of this upper section because it's kind of overlapped by the chest. Then we're going to have the leg come down and then in. So it's going to kind of be curled up. All right, the knee is going to go here. The hoof is going to go here. Remember at the bottom of the hoof to give it a little bit of a curve, not a perfectly straight line. Then we're going to do an oval over here, making sure to overlap body, overlap the knee. And then I'm going to do another oval, overlapping the knee and overlapping the hoof. All right, now for the back legs. The back legs should be the same length. So I'm just going to continue this line over, estimating about where my back leg should end, trying to make sure I'm equal distance. You guys will make sure equal distance from the bottom of the paper. All right, so the back leg curves back first, and then it goes straight down like that, kind of on an angle, okay? Then the hoof, remember the hoof is not going to be directly under here. The hoof is going to jump forward a little bit and be rounded at the bottom. So there's the horse's hoof. The back leg, we're not going to do a knee joint. We're just going to do an upper oval, making sure that this oval gets a lot bigger at the top, and then a long skinny oval down here, and a little notch on the back of the horse's leg. So there's the back leg. We're going to do another back leg on the opposite side of the body. This one, you're going to see a little bit of the top part of the leg, the bottom, and the hoof jumps forward. Make sure round at the bottom of the hoof. All right, then I'm going to trace over this area, making sure to overlap the body, oval, overlapping the leg, overlapping the hoof. Bump. Okay, after we do the neck and the head and all that, I will go around and smooth together these outlines to make it look more like one fluid form. Okay, so for the horse's neck, the unicorn's neck, I'm going to have the neck look very erect, like very, sharply pointed upward, like they were at alert or something. So it's going to basically just go up like this. I'm going to start with a very wide oval. Instead of doing 2 lines for the neck like this, the oval makes the neck look much more muscular or strong. I do this when I draw humans a lot too. I do lines that curve outward for the neck and a lot of animals. Okay, so for the horse's head, I'm going to draw a big circle here. Now we're going to start the horse's snout. I'm going to do a straight line coming down from here, and then I'm going to add on a small circle. The small circle should still be fairly close to the starting circle. If it's too far out, they'll end up looking like an anteater or something, or a dinosaur, something along that order. Then I'm going to draw in the bottom of the jaw. The bottom of the jaw is going to continue into the cheekbone, which should overlap this area later in life, okay? I think we're about ready to go around and smooth up edges. So I'm going to go in, I'm just going to kind of make the connection from one shape to another a little bit smoother. See, I'm really smoothing out the connection from head to neck, from neck to back, back to butt. Yeah, that's right, I said butt. Okay, and then I'm going to move on from the neck into the chest, and the chest into this front arm, okay? The chest will overlap the arm on the opposite side of the body, so it should go smoothly down into this one. In fact, I should probably change colors for this, but I'm just tracing around the whole thing, kind of smoothing it all together. Smoothly into that front leg. Remember, the body is overlapping that leg on the opposite side. Smoothly into the butt. Okay, good. And then also I'm going to kind of smooth out this back leg. And smooth out this front leg. The last thing I'm going to do on here is I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some areas that just help to make the horse look more realistic and more muscular. One area is on the horse's nose. So what's going to happen here is we're going to draw in like a little bit of a smile. I'm going to bring the upper lip out a little bit farther than the bottom lip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve it into kind of like a diagonal line here and a diagonal line here. So I'm kind of squaring up his nose a little. I'm going to square up the bottom jaw, almost like the bottom of a trapezoid. And then I'm going to square up, let's see, I guess just by the butt is the only other area I want to square, okay? So I'm going to add a diagonal line like kind of here. And then I'm going to square this into the leg, up into here, kind of like that. So I'm adding what looks like the edge of an octagon, sort of. They're very muscular, and muscles tend to give us straight lines when we're drawing someone or something. All right, in the future, you don't need to do it on this practice sketch, but in the future, if you're drawing this, you would want to draw really lightly so that you could go in and erase all the lines on the inside. After we erase these lines on the inside, by the way, some of these lines you want to keep, like where the chest goes in front of that one. But after we erase these lines on the inside, I will go in and add more details like face, ears, unicorn horn, all that kind of stuff. Like I said earlier, I'm going to leave in that cheekbone where it overlaps the neck. I'm going to leave in that smile I drew in. Okay. Erasing the lines inside this back leg. Erasing inside here. And so then you're getting a look like it's one fluid form instead of a bunch of small forms put together. When you're doing the horse's ears, the ears are going to kind of go forward. I'm running a little bit out of room. I wish I had a little bit more room for the ears. And the unicorn horn is going to come out here. And then I'm going to work on the mane in a minute. To draw the unicorn horn, I'm going to draw a series of ovals that are on an angle. And what these ovals are going to do is they're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as they go up the unicorn horn like this. I erase the inside, and then I'm just going to add in sort of a swirly line like that. That makes it look like it's twisted. That's pretty much it for the unicorn horn. I'll actually just go ahead and do that quickly on here. So ovals on an angle. Erase the inside. Add one little bump on the bottom if you need to. And then draw in some swirly lines so it looks twisted. Okay, to draw the mane, oh actually, you know what, let me draw the eyes and the mouth first. The eye for a unicorn, I'm going to start with a circle right about here. And I'm going to draw the corner of the eye inside and the corner of the eye outside. I'm going to leave one little square open and I'm going to shade the rest in dark. For the nostril, I'm just going to draw kind of like a swoop like that, where it looks like, shoop, kind of like that. Let's see, what else do we need? I'm going to need the mane now. Let's go ahead and do the mane. I'm going to change colors for this one. So for the mane, a couple of cool things that you guys can do is you can have the mane overlap the neck. Like you could have it come into this way, you could have it go in the front, you could have it overlap the head. When people draw hair, they tend to draw hair like this, where you see a bunch of individual pieces, but we're going to draw locks of hair instead. It's a lot easier if you group the hair together as opposed to drawing each individual hair. So I'm going to start by just drawing in some individual locks of hair. I'm going to have some that overlap the body itself, but most of it's going to kind of be flying to the back like that. I'll have this guy kind of come in. Wherever it overlaps the body, you want to erase the line where it comes over here. And then you can start identifying individual tufts of hair or locks of hair. Like so. I'm going to have this lock of hair here. You can have multi-levels of hair where you have like hair that comes into the background. Like I said, you could have hair that comes down onto the forehead or goes behind the unicorn horn. And then the tail. The tail is going to go up and then down. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw in tufts of hair. The hair can overlap the legs, or I'm sorry, the tail can overlap the legs. If you do, just erase the legs where they go inside the hair. All right, and then you can draw individual pieces of hair sort of within the tail if you want to, kind of identify a few smaller areas. All right, now if you want to give your unicorn wings, the last thing will be wings. And I understand that maybe real unicorns don't have wings, but this one's going to have wings. You can add them if you want to. All right, so wings. What you're going to do with wings, these are going to be rather like a bird wing. So I'm going to just go up and over, right out from like where the neck meets the back. I'm going to go out from here, up, and then over, and I have a nice rounded corner on the top. And then I'm going to draw in rounded edges of this wing, kind of like this. And I'm going to do some more circles that come in like this. Or sorry, not circles really, just I guess curves I could call them. And I'm going to do maybe like a third level of this. I suppose you could go all the way through the wing, kind of adding in those curves. But I like to just do it more on the edges. And then, I mean, if you really wanted to get involved with it, you could add like, you know, sort of like lines coming inward on the wing. But that's pretty much it. I kind of like to leave the detail on the edges. Okay, the last thing you guys could do is just define the edges of the hooves. So I'm going to draw a line at the bottom of the hooves there. I suppose some horses have like really furry bottoms of the legs, like Clydesdales have a little bit more hair down there. So if you wanted to add details like that, and any other detail you want to add to your unicorn drawing is good with me. So you could do like castles in the background, water, waterfalls, rainbows, all that's fair game. Good luck.